Good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Saraya Mia. Spanish arbitrator Gonzalo Stampa has been found guilty of contempt of court. According to Law and Institutional Reform Minister Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said, he's also sentenced to 6 months in prison and banned from practicing as an arbitrator for a year. Previously, 8 Philippine citizens who claimed to be the heirs of the defunct Sulu Sultanate filed for arbitration proceedings in Spain. Stampa had controversially ordered Malaysia to pay more than 70 billion ringgit to the self-proclaimed heirs. In December, he was charged with contempt of court and unqualified professional practice for defying a Madrid court's decision to annul the Sulu claimant's case. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Datuk Sri An Ibrahim remains committed to fighting corruption and ensuring that such practices do not occur under his administration. He urges all parties not to politicize enforcement actions against those involved, especially public figures.
Kalau di bawah pentadbiran saya, kalau orang bagi tahu ada satu kes rasuah, percayalah saya tidak ada tolak ansur sama sekali. Tan Sri Azam tahu benar pendirian saya. Dan kalau sama ada di pihak parti yang menyokong saya atau menentang, itu soal lain. Tidak mempengaruhi keputusan.
A new format for asset declaration is in the works with the aim to promote transparency and combat corruption. The Prime Minister's Office PMO said asset declarations for members of the administration would be enforced again, with the new format to be presented to the Cabinet soon. The federal constitution defines members of the administration as ministers, deputy ministers, and their parliament and political secretaries. The last time asset declarations by lawmakers and ministers were made public was during the first Pakatan Harapan administration. Meanwhile, the PMO said the National Governance Committee also approved a new guideline for the appointment of chairpersons and directors to statutory bodies. The government also wants to strengthen internal audits in statutory bodies, besides improving the governance, structure, and composition of each body's board of directors. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Agency MACC confirms that a former Prime Minister and his aides will be called in for questioning over ongoing investigations into 700 million ringgit spent by the previous federal administration on promotion and publicity work. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azambaki, however, did not disclose when they will be summoned.
We are addressing that 700 million issues. Yang pentingnya kita nak tengok bagaimana duit itu dibelanjakan. Itu penting. We don't have too much query on bagaimana ia diputuskan ataupun diluluskan. Okay. Tetapi berkaitan dengan bagaimana ia dibelanjakan dan company-company yang dapat.
Have you called the companies that got the project?
Yeah.
Already?
Already.
That one have been done. So the last person to be questioned is the PM ke-9 lah?
PM and also the mantan and the people from his circle yang terlibat dalam his office.
MACC is probing allegations of excessive amounts of funds being spent on the promotion of campaigns in previous administrations, following reports lodged.
Separately, the MACC is still investigating allegations of misappropriation of funds involving Aman Palestine Berhad. However, Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azambaki says investigators are having a tough time following the money trail, as there were many things still in doubt.
Azam said the Graph agency needed to know whether donations made by the charity organizations were channeled to Palestine, among other countries, and how the donations were sent. In addition, Azam said the MACC also questioned the companies established by Aman Palestine with no apparent connection to Palestine involving funds obtained from the public. He specifically questioned the organization's investment in buying gold bars, stressing that if the MACC finds anything wrong with the issue, it will propose charges to the public prosecutor. Aman Palestine, founded in 2004 to collect donations for those affected by armed conflicts in Palestine, Syria and Lebanon, is under public scrutiny after questions were raised over 4 grade 999.9 gold bullion weighing 1 kg each was seized during an inspection of its offices in November 2023. Questions were also raised about the transparency of the 70 million ringgit in funds donated, claimed to already be channeled to Gaza.
Employers who force their workers to take annual leave or pay cuts during the water supply disruption in Penang from January 10th will face action under the Employment Act 1955. Human Resources Minister Stephen Sim says under the Act, employers can be fined up to 50,000 ringgit.
Stephen urged workers affected by such actions to lodge a complaint with the Labour Department. Meanwhile, employers can seek advice and guidance from the department before making any decisions. Separately, Stephen said his ministry, through SOCSO, would introduce further measures to encourage more people to sign up for the Housewives' Social Security Scheme. He said currently only 200,000 out of 3 million housewives nationwide had registered under the scheme since its introduction in 2022.
We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. Sheikh Hasina secured her 5th term as Bangladeshi Prime Minister, with her party Awami League winning almost 75% of seats in the general election. Bangladeshis largely stayed away from Sunday's election, with voter turnout of about 40% compared to over 80% in the 2018 election, following a boycott from the main opposition party over the weekend. The ruling Awami League won 223 of 300 parliamentary seats contested. Independent candidates, many of them Awami League party members of various ranks, won the second most seats, leaving the parliament without a credible opposition for the next 5 years. The main opposition party, Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP, boycotted the polls due to Hasina's refusal to allow a neutral authority to run the election. This comes after mass arrests of many BNP leaders and supporters, who Hasina accused of instigating violent anti-government protests since last October, killing at least 14 people. Critics, on the other hand, raised concerns of a de facto one-party rule by Hasina and her party, along with claims of human rights violations, crackdowns on free speech, and suppression of dissent. With many expecting a similar outcome for Bangladesh's polls, low voter turnout and increased boycotts signal potential challenges for 5-term Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's popularity. Commenting on this is Rahul Mishra, Associate Professor from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi.
I think compared to last elections, there's certainly a downfall in Awami League and Sheikh Hasina's acceptability. So that is certainly a factor. So her popularity has gone down, no doubt about it. And the facts speak for themselves. 60% of people did not come to cast their vote, right? So there is a considerable population, considerable amount of people who are who think that things domestic scenario has to be changed, and they are perhaps not in support of Awami League. But nota is also a factor. Like, people don't want to go out and vote because they don't like Awami League or BNP either. Second, I think, is also in many ways a response to her policies on societal architecture in Bangladesh, societal fabric in Bangladesh, but also concerns on the economic front. Even though Awami League government has done very well, Sheikh Hasina has done really very well on the economic front, and Bangladesh over past 4 terms that she has served has emerged as an economic giant, not only in South Asia, but also in the wider Asian context. So I think on the economic front, she has done well, but there are concerns on development and inclusivity of economic growth, so that it reaches to the poorest of the poor people. So I think on these two factors, yes, her popularity has been under question.
Rahul believes that Hasina and her Awami League party will foster stronger relations and cooperation with Malaysia in several areas. This includes on the protection of Rohingya refugees and Bangladesh's labor force in Malaysia.
Bangladesh-Malaysia relations are moving in a positive trajectory. They are strengthening. This relationship is going steady and strong. The relationship is based on a multitude of factors: economic cooperation, commonalities on societal aspects. Religion plays a very important role. The Rohingya issue is, of course, very important. And Bangladesh sees Malaysia as its trusted partner when it comes to the humanitarian crisis with regards to Rohingyas and how to deal with the military junta in Myanmar and their atrocities against the Rohingya people. So I think on that front, Malaysia and Bangladesh will get closer. On the economic side also, there is a lot that can be done. And I think relationship is only going to get stronger, considering that a lot of Bangladesh labor force migrates to Malaysia and works there. So their well-being and their role in contributing to Malaysian economy is something that perhaps Prime Minister An Ibrahim and Sheikh Hasina could discuss moving forward.
In other news, the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board has recovered the door plug that was blown off from an Alaska Airlines flight last week. Its chair, Jennifer Homendy, however, says the plane's cockpit voice recorder had not captured any data because it had been overwritten.
The door plug from the Boeing 737 MAX 9 jet was found in the backyard of a school teacher's home in Portland, Oregon. It tore off the left side of the plane after takeoff from Portland on January 5th. Pilots were forced to turn back as the plane depressurized, landing safely with all 171 passengers and 6 crew members on board. The Federal Aviation Administration has since ordered the grounding of 171 Boeing MAX 9 jets equipped with the same panel for inspection. More than 200 Alaska Airlines flights have been cancelled, with cancellations expected to continue through the first half of the week.
Over in Hollywood, Oppenheimer won big at the 2024 Golden Globe Awards, taking home 5 awards, including the top prize. Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. were both recognized for their acting performances, while Christopher Nolan won Best Director.
I knew the first time that I
During his speech, Oppenheimer star Murphy paid tribute to Nolan's rigor, focus and dedication in making the film, which was one of the biggest hits last year, grossing $954 million at the box office. Murphy played J. Robert Oppenheimer, the theoretical physicist described as the father of the atomic bomb. The biopic also won awards for Best Score and Best Supporting Actor for Downey Jr., who portrayed U.S. government official Louis Strauss. Oppenheimer also walked away with Best Drama Film Award. Meanwhile, Barbie won the inaugural Box Office Achievement Award after grossing $1.4 billion worldwide. The film also won the award for the Best Original Song with Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For. On the television front, Succession won 4 prizes, including Best Drama Series, following its acclaimed 4th and final season. Sarah Snow, Kieran Culkin and Matthew Macfadyen took home the awards for Best Actress, Actor and Supporting Actor. The Globes are one of the first events on the Hollywood Awards circuit, which will culminate with the Oscars on March 10th.
That wraps up AWANI tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Saraya Mia and we'll see you soon.